review for you for sections 3-1 and get my pen to work here. Okay, 3-1, which is estimating by rounding to the nearest integer. You need to remember your integer rules for addition, same signs, keep and add, different signs, subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. And when you're doing subtraction, you need to remember that if you have a subtraction, I'm just going to do the sign here, minus, you're going to do keep, change, change, and then follow the rules for addition. If it was negative minus a positive, it would be keep, change, change. That would become a negative, and then follow the rules. So if you don't remember the rules of your integers, you need to go back to your integer chart and study those rules, because all the other things are not going to make sense if you don't follow the rules properly. All right? So estimating by rounding, if I have 6.88 and I'm adding a negative 8.1, the first thing that I have to do is I want to go ahead, I'm just going to go ahead and round 6.88. I'm going to round to the nearest whole number. Look at this number, look the number to the right. If it's 5 or greater, remember this goes up. So that goes to a 7, plus, look to the right. If that's a 5 or greater, this goes up. If not, it stays the same, negative 8. Different signs, find the difference when I'm adding. The difference between 7 and 8 is 1. Keep the sign of the larger absolute value, which the 8 is bigger than a 7, so it's a negative 1. Okay? Round, then go back and look at your signs and follow what you're doing. Let's do another one. 68.2 plus 23.67. Remember, we're doing rounding right now, so we're going to look at 68. Is this enough to bring 68 to a 69, the 8 to a 9? No. So it'll be 68. We're going to keep 23. We're going to look here. Is this enough to bring the 3 up to a 4? It's yes, it's greater than 5. So this would be 24. And then we'll just go ahead and add like we normally add, 68 plus 24. All right? Let's do another one that's got a negative. Let's do negative 3.45. And let's do minus 1.2. Okay, we're going to round the 3, look to the right. It's not enough to bring it up, so it's going to stay in negative 3. Put my minus sign here. 1, look to the right, not enough to bring the 1 up, so it's going to be 1. But when I do my subtraction, remember, you've got to do your keep, change. Oh, I was trying to do a different color for you guys so it'd be easier to see. Keep, change, change. Same signs, keep and add. Different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger number and you'll be exact. So they're the same signs now. So keep and add. So we have a negative 4. This is when we're rounding, estimating by rounding to the nearest integer and solving it. Now, if it's multiplication, remember, if the signs are the same when you multiply, then it's always positive. A negative times a negative, or a negative divided by a negative, equals a positive answer. A positive multiplied by a positive or divided by a positive equals a positive, because the signs are the same, okay? But anytime they're different, the answer is always negative. So here, when they're different, the answer is always negative. That's true for multiplication and division. So the same thing, if you get your answer, you round, and then you have to follow the rules for multiplication and for division. So you're going to have to really know your integers and how they operate before you do that, and you've got to know how to round. So those are important aspects that you're going to have to know when you're doing that. Now, when you go through and do that, let's take one that's like that. Let's say it's negative 4.2 times negative 2.7. All right? So again, let's round first. All right? So we look at the 4. The 2 isn't enough to make the 4 go up, so keep it at a negative 4. We look at the 7, and the 7 is greater than 5, so the 2 goes up by 1, negative 3. We're multiplying. Remember this. If the signs are the same, when you're multiplying, it's a positive answer. So 4 times 3 is 12, and the signs are the same, so it's positive 12. And if you want to put a positive in front of it, you can, if that helps you. All right? So you've got to round. Once you round, then you've got to follow your signs, your rules for your signs. Okay?